Hello, all you amazing human beings. This is Chad Warren. It is Thursday, July 18th, 8:29 a.m. Central Time, here off of Hickory Nut Mountain Road in the Ouachita National Forest here in Arkansas. Man, I feel really good. Why, Chad? Because the proof is in the pudding. Meaning that there's a lot of times when we don't have answers, and then there are other times when we 100% do, and this is one of those times. So, specifically, that if you respect your individual self, for me, that's just some notion of breaking from my upbringing in various Christian, Catholic private schools and whatever, just struggling to fit in and wanting to fit in and whatever, so that I come to some idea of, okay, I got this Father Creator and I got this Mother Nature, your consciousness, the immaterial and the material, these kind of axioms that are eternal and beyond dogma, however much those ideas are used as weapons against us. So, I'm thankful for Twitter because it has connected me with somebody who we share a respect for the story of Gurdjieff. I just made this post, meetings with remarkable men, Gurdjieff, mystic, truth seeker, dance, meditation, know thyself, spiritual adventure movie, and there's a link to it. And by the way, if you buy anything through Amazon, through that link, whether it's renting this movie or buying it or buying a new gas grill or whatever, I will receive a commission for that, and I sure could use it because I am out here camping, which is a wonderful thing, but I have half a tank of gas, and hopefully I will have enough food to make it to the 29th when I will get my monthly money. Anyway, so I was trying to communicate the point of the film, and I'm also reading Gurdjieff's Fourth Way. I'll show you that later if I remember. I have to read that book before I can participate in this group. There's a woman, I think that's like from the Basque region of Spain, that runs a Telegram group about that. But the point of the movie, to me, the story of Gurdjieff that I still hope is true, is that when you realize how empty of meaning your life is, that's when you're ready to seek out a new way to know God via experience. Okay, so let's start with that word experience versus dogma and texts. So the problem with talking about AI taking over is that it took over when they made books, right? Because you've got the Dogon tribe of Africa that, because they still have an intact oral tradition, they are able to do a dance that represents, Sirius, these planets and satellites that mainstream science didn't even publicly know about until the 1970s, okay? So the problem with, okay, so let me transition here. So that was all it took, is that this Nicolette de Vidar, pardon me if that's wrong, so I checked her out, okay? In de Vidar TV host, smart sustainability, together co-creating our future in our own truth, aligned with nature, love, humor, happiness, and beauty. Okay. So I see smart sustainability, so that shows me, and I can confirm this after watching this video, which is just a promotion to watch this hour-long video to check out Miss Davidar's show. Because I can see that she recognizes that okay, I would say I don't do what the left does, where they want to censor. Oh, you can't criticize Israel. But I am about, we need to understand and agree what the meaning of words are, because that's the problem of law, is that they legalese, they shift the meaning of the words, and that's how you get all these good people sucked into scams, okay? So the bigger picture is, yes, Nicolette, we need to respect natural law, okay? And then here's religion, no. Here's academia, no. Because both of those are controlled by dogma and people running the world via the UN and Israel. That's the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Khazarians, what the Bible calls the synagogue of Satan. These people have nothing to do with ancient Hebrews. I just saw a video the other day of a woman who is Zionist, born and raised in Israel, and she's in the halls of the U.S. Congress, in the lobby, sticking a microphone in the face of power, some white conservative with two of his legs blown off in war, replaced by metal sticks, saying, hey, I thought the whole purpose of Israel was not just to keep the Jewish people safe, but to make sure that there never again is some kind of eugenics plan to wipe some people out. And this guy goes, we're gonna turn Gaza to glass. This is a U.S. senator. So when me, the radical out in the woods that doesn't trust anything, is taken aback at, like, man, this guy's a physical threat. And they're supposed to be the ones that honor all this codes of conduct. You know that we're in full inversion, which is good, So, smart sustainability, she gets it, that it's supposed to be based on each person is an ecosystem. Each person has to make conscious decisions, like a king or a god or whatever, about what's right or wrong. It is, but the way that sustainability is used by the UN is that you have this oligopoly. Now, this oligopoly has always ruled since ancient Babylon and Sumeria, and that's where modern Iran is, and all of this, and they just are retreated from the physical trappings of power, much like the Knights Templars. That's why Geneva, Switzerland is the center for the United Nations and this Eurasia, because they were a kingdom without a nation, these individual secret society group of people that get together. So when they say sustainability, they mean what the oligopoly, the few that rule the many, decide is sustainable. Now, I am overall, why am I focusing on Nicolette de Vidar? It's because she is from this world of the UN, and the guests that she has on here are people that devoted their lives to it till they figured out it was a big corporate scam. So I'm all about cooperation. That's, so when she says co-creating, I'm like, hey, that's a word that I use. I'm all about this crowdfunding, crowdsourcing. Like, why make a new Marvel movie or a new Star Wars movie that all of the audience is going to hate, when you should be starting with the marketing. You should be starting with, what do you want the movie to be? And then those people are going to turn into your cheerleaders, and they're going to go out there and they're going to raise money. And then they're not just adult children watching some stupid story. They're like putting their values. It is a propaganda. It's supposed to have this point, right? We don't just have to sit here and let the Hollywood elite program us one way or the other. It doesn't matter which way they program you, because it's them in charge, some external authority. So yeah, I'm always trying to get people on board with these ideas. It's like, hey, I don't care so much about my idea, other than we need to be operating as a cooperative. So I don't want to hear the word collective used anymore. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I really, if you think about it, it's a collection. Oh, who has a collection? Rich people, like all those paintings and their, and then it was already spoken of. It was, I can't remember the women's names that were the guests, but it's understood that we are human resources. It's all just a giant corporation. We are literally a human farm, okay? And it's not just the left that is the problem. Because they're bringing up how undemocratic all of this is. This Zelensky's not even the president anymore, yet we're throwing all this money after this plan that people have already voted out, So that's obviously not what's going on. And the same is true on the right. The Republic is supposed to be the best that lead the rest. Do you really think this is the best that lead the rest here in America? We have to choose between these two old farts? This is as good as we've got? Horsepucky. No. I just got done reading the Financial Vipers of Venice by Joseph Farrell, and it talks about that is a republic of oligarchs. And that's where you learn that they tied together philosophy, religion, physics, all together. So Plato, who brought us the idea of the republic, was wasn't he the same guy that was in the whole math cult? Yes, I believe so. That's where all mathematics comes from, is that not this atheistic material thing, but this super spiritual immaterial notion. And the basic philosophy is that everything is number. And then that's what Joseph argues, is that that's where the idea of coins came from. Putting that number on those coins is doing what we know more today by big data, right? So you don't need laws on paper. Throw that idea away. Corporations took over for government. Computers took over for corporations. And most people were bots and AI and NPCs long, long ago, walking around as people of books. Whether it is Einstein or the Holy Bible, it doesn't matter. It's that we have to get back to the zeitgeist of our time is interpersonalism. I mean, this right here is the embodiment of the animated French movie from the 70s, Fantastic Planet, where it was this other planet where there's this other alien people that were dominant, and there were humanoids, and they were considered roaches that they were seeking to exterminate. But they kept some of them as pets, especially the children of the rich. And one of those pet humans touched this headband, this is what's coming with Elon Musk's Neuralink, so that's the time frame we have. This is the last generation of people that will even have the ability to break through this imperial conditioning through media to form their own sense of themselves and take actions accordingly, because they're going to go below that into just injecting whole experiences in people, and not developing any critical thinking skills, right? And the critical thinking skills I developed was from being kicked out of the kingdom and not wanting to be in it because I inherited money and all these kind of things. So it gave me that freedom to explore. And I found the classical liberal arts of grammar, logic, and rhetoric, which is very simple. It's so retarded that, you don't have to go to some Ivy League school. You don't need anything. That's the whole concept, is that we now are able to weigh the individual life with all of the anthropos, the human species. We are cells within this human species. That's the weird thing, is that we can be thankful for a lot of the tyranny that has, in the fascism, that has forced English to be this international language. It is not just something that just brings the English or the Americans up to a superior status. It's what allows the Japanese to speak with the Chinese and not have to defer to each other's language, because, we know that the people most similar are the ones that have the fiercest battles within any group. Or you take India and Pakistan and all that kind of stuff, which is like just recently made up, and these people act like they're at total war with each other. So, and likewise, the sad part about this homogenization of one culture, but the positive is I can just grok and listening to these people. That's like thankfully we are all on the same page. And there again with the terrible COVID and all of this. And then I will say that obviously there's some secret society or spiritual force that is preventing total annihilation, because the will is so strong there, and the means is so capable, that I don't see anything holding any of this back. I would say that Nicolette said, well, I think Klaus Schwab and all of that realizes that he's gone too far with all this transhumanism and you will eat the bugs and all this Nazi rhetoric. No, you can look at the Rockefeller Operation Lockstep, and they know very well that they are into this. They're uncloaking. That's the phase that we're in. As Americans, we've been in communism ever since they put the District of Columbia as our nation's capital. That broke the rules of the Constitution. The government that reformed after the Civil War, that broke the rules. The Federal Reserve monopoly money, that broke the rules. So that's the problem with the right, is that they praise God and they praise the Constitution, but their actions don't show that. This is the problem with law and government. The word government is mind control. That's all that it can do. There's nothing good that can come from it, because it is all like, well, I've got to go to work and I trust these people. Come on, man. You can't treat the police like they're human beings. They are literally trained to screw you over. And I'm somebody that falls for this. I'm somebody that had to pay $1,500 to a lawyer because I was out in the woods, and just all of a sudden these state troopers and park ranger and sheriffs roll up on me. Put your hands on the wheel and blah, blah, blah. And we were looking for somebody that looks like you, that was in a fight in a car like yours. And then I was dumb enough to treat him like a human, and he wanted to search the car. I should have, see, if you don't know your rights, if you don't defend your rights, then you're not a good person. That's the painful thing. All of the problems are our behavior. We need to respect that there is and should be this death cult evil force. Because sometimes when you need to defend yourself, you have to rely on that. So that the best you can hope for is to be a benevolent dictator, right? Somebody who's just as psycho and scheming as these overambitious, soulless scum. Because if you can't beat them, it doesn't matter that you love your family and you whatever. And another thing is peace is just as dirty of a word as war, because the definition of peace of the UN and the oligarch is when there is no one left to criticize and argue against their monoculture, which again, with this Neuralink, we've got, what, a generation? So, what else do I want to say? What is talked about in the show? I would just say that Nicolette as a TV host is somebody that I think is important, because she is apparently appears to be from Central Europe. That's where all this action is happening. Is the America is being merged with the East. That's communitarianism, which is this Barbara Specter and these Zionists and all these people that are creating this monoculture, and then are like, we're going to be resented because, we're going to be eliminating the white race and all this stuff. And so that's what this whole war between Russia and America is you got to wipe out these white people, because we have built them up to be this dominant force, and all of that stuff goes back to the the history of Rome, and that there was they understood the value of these different groups of people and what they were good and bad at, typically, or programmed to do. But I'm most excited about the thing of the bad thing is that you hear about global warming, that the environmentalism in nature, that topic is destroyed by all this Captain Planet, the sky is falling propaganda that doesn't do anything to help nature. What it does do is give a tax break to rich people so they can open up a Formula One racetrack, right, that they have a monopoly on, and go, oh, it's a green building. Green with envy. You know what I mean? It's just like gross. So it is a big concern that our soil itself is under threat. It is a big concern that there are microplastics and nanoparticles and pharmaceutical drugs in all of the water and all the world and all the people. So, what in the hell are conservatives conserving? Why in the hell do they not lead with, it's just bizarre to me. I'm from Hot Springs, Arkansas, and that is where the scammery of all this nature garbage got going. It's starting the beautiful, wonderful national park system, but it was Rockefeller land, and it's all this public-private partnership poo-poo. So we've got to break ranks. The people from the fringes, the radicals, they need to form a new consensus, okay? Because it's natural that there is a counterpart to this dark elite, and it is a good elite. And I hate snobbery. There's nothing cool about seeing yourself as within that group. With great power comes great responsibility. But I have the ability to at least see what's going on more than a lot of people. Like all these Trump humpers. It's like, good Lord, y'all are Christian? This guy, anybody that goes to that Wailing Wall, they are Babylonian satanic. That represents having sex with the Holy Spirit. Okay? And my point is not to more judge that, but to say, wait a minute, you're saying you're Christian. Why do I know your rules of your thing better than you do? You see what I'm saying? Like with the conservative, what are you conserving? Donald Trump spent more money than all the presidents before him combined on Operation Warp Speed. that is the biggest government scammery. So each of us from these different sectors, healthcare, where is the thing is everything you need to know is from the children's toy I got at the skating rink as a kid. It's called the Chinese finger cuff, was what we called it. It's 3 woven strips into a tube. You put your fingers in, you can't get your fingers out. The lesson is you have to cooperate and then let that one out, and then that lets that one out. Okay, so if we feel that we have to fight against something, fail. No. We have to govern our own behavior individually and cooperate together. So, like all this money that's being spent on financial investment, we need to be learning how to create micro lending, village economics. So, like, getting a pool of money in a group of people, copying what I saw when I went to New Orleans as a young person, and they have the Jazz Preservation Society, and you see the old timers doing the ragtime jazz and in the Jazz Preservation Hall, because before Social Security ruined everything, before health insurance and insurance and all this stuff, and that's where my money I inherited came from, was from combined insurance, selling policies to farmers. But you had social clubs, and the basic idea, is just that you were paying a due, and you had a clubhouse and whatever you want to do. So, like, hey, let's pay for a doctor. And then that's better than the system we have now, where the doctor's like, let me look at this person's insurance to decide how to treat them. And, I need to pay for my daughter's college, so we're going to prescribe this to get paid into this racket. All of science is ruined. We don't have science. It's ruined by finance. And then even science tells you that, look, man, the smarter you are, the more you just justify your animal urges and fool dumber people. Okay, so don't get caught up in the power differentials. It's not, you don't want to be up here. You don't want to be down here either. But you don't need to make anything equal. Everything's happening exactly like it's supposed to. See, why are the religious people not acting like that? Why are the science people not acting like that? So that's our currency, is knowing what to do and doing it. And organic growth. Hey, I am focusing on Nicolette. We have some opening of understanding because of the respect for Gurdjieff's story in common. So yeah, like I'm always going on about all this cooperation thing, and I have End of Days Radio to thank for giving me a community online where I do feel that I'm able to cooperate with these people, to support the alternative media as a whole. That's what I'm trying to do, is to get those people to kind of form a United Nations type of body to have that ability to support each other, which naturally happens through cross-promotion and that kind of a thing. But I want to be able to poll them and get people to, I want those people to start sharing their ideas as a body. And that's within the occult, conspiracy, alt media world, which its problem is that alternative media is even worse than mainstream media because nobody has to pay you off. People naturally are going to start doing what they think gets them views. They're going to cater to the audience and have these delusions of money and all this stuff. And it's just entertainment posing as doing something. That's even worse, right? It's better to watch sports, which is just a total recreation, versus to delude yourself that you're doing something with magic or politics or whatever. and you're not. So I'm thankful for that relation, and I would encourage y'all to check each other out, the people I know through End of Days Radio and all the other great shows, Occult Rejects, and Jin the Ninja, Threshold Saints podcast. I would very much appreciate, I'll be posting this and tagging you, and if I could get y'all to respond in any way, that's all I care about. You don't have to agree with me. I just want your genuine response. I think I pretty much said what I have to say. It's just check out Nicolette, check out this hour-long show she has got here that's talking about smart sustainability, that we need to stop supporting any of this Trump talk or any of these mainstream alternative media things, and we need to start making it attractive. Hey, look, there's these people that are cooperating. Hey, these people they're coming up with their own direction and they're doing it. You know what I mean? And then finally, if I've brought you any value here, I would encourage you to check out more of what I do over at Linktree, chad.one. I'll have the link in the description. You can help me by buying anything on Amazon through that link there. You can read my blog at Medium. I have a book club that is more about socializing in Hot Springs, Arkansas, but I have opened that up to the online community. Going to be reading a biography about Jim Thorpe, one of the biggest athletes of all time, and that he faced extreme struggles to get to his success as an athlete, and then everything fell apart afterwards, but yet his perseverance continued on. That's something that I can say about myself. At least I am good in that respect about being able to continue on with a positive attitude despite a bunch of negative. This is my episode on End of Days Radio, where I'm just talking about this stuff about networking through Gnosis. And then I was also interviewed similarly by Dr. Christopher, a psychologist, martial artist. He has like a eco-village, some land type of thing in Thailand that he does invite people to come check out. I do my Google Maps, local guide reviews, podcast reviews group on Facebook. You can buy me a coffee. That'd be very much appreciated. I've got a promo crafters group. I'm working on promoting events and learning how to make Facebook ads for people. You can add my playlist at Spotify. If I get 1,000 people to do that, that would earn me some money, and it's just a lesson that's what we all need is 1,000 people to appreciate what you do online to be successful. And then I also have book reviews at Goodreads. Thank you very much. Good day.